In the age of information, we often measure knowledge by degrees, books, or data. But beyond the intellect, beyond what can be taught or measured, lies a sacred form of knowledge that cannot be acquired. It is granted. This is Ilm-e-Ladunni, divine knowledge, inner knowledge, or spiritual Gnosis. And among the greatest illuminators of this hidden reality was Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi, the Andalusian Sufi, philosopher, and mystic. But what is this mysterious knowledge? Who can access it? And what is its ultimate purpose? What is Ilm-e-Ladunni? The term Ilm-e-Ladunni comes from the Arabic phrase Ilm-e-Ladun, meaning knowledge from the presence of God. It appears in the Quran in Surah Al-Kahf, 1865, in the story of Musa, Moses, and Khidr. Then they found one of our servants, unto whom we had given mercy from us, and taught him knowledge from our presence, Ilm-e-Ladun. This is not academic knowledge. It is infused directly into the soul by Allah, bypassing the senses, books, and teachers. It is light poured into the heart, granting the knower access to truths unseen and unknowable by ordinary means. Ibn Arabi's view, the heart as the throne of knowledge. Ibn Arabi, known as Sheikh al-Akbar, the greatest master, held that true knowledge must be received, not just acquired. In his massive spiritual encyclopedia, Futuhat al-Makkiyah, the Meccan Revelations, and his metaphysical masterpiece, Fusus al-Hikam, the Bezels of Wisdom, he often speaks of divine knowledge being granted to the purified heart. He writes, "There is a knowledge which cannot be gained by effort or reason. It is cast into the heart of the knower from the divine presence. This casting is called ilka, a spiritual transmission or unveiling, kashf, for Ibn Arabi. The heart, qalb, is the mirror in which the divine reality is reflected, but only if it is polished by remembrance, dhikr, sincerity and love. The secret, divine knowledge, is not for everyone. The secret of Ilm-e-Ladunni is that it cannot be forced or deserved in the conventional sense. It is a gift from God, often granted in states of spiritual emptiness, annihilation of the ego, fana, or during divine ecstasies. This is why it is veiled from most people. Ibn Arabi teaches that while everyone has a capacity for it, only those who journey inward, away from the world of form, pride and logic can receive it. He writes, "The rational mind may grasp the signs, but only the heart perceives the real. Thus, the secret lies in how one lives, how one purifies the self, and how deeply one surrenders." Ibn Arabi makes a distinction between two types of knowledge. Ilm al-Zahir, external knowledge, theology, jurisprudence, language, logic. Ilm al-Batin, inner knowledge, direct experiential insight, Gnostic truths. Ilm-e-Ladunni belongs to the second type. He does not dismiss intellectual knowledge, and in fact he was deeply educated. But he believed intellect alone becomes a veil, when it becomes arrogant or disconnected from the heart. In his view, knowledge should lead to humility, not pride. The one who truly knows realizes that they know nothing but what God reveals to them. How is Ilm-e-Ladunni received? According to Ibn Arabi, the process of receiving Ilm-e-Ladunni involves tazkiyah, purification of the soul, removing ego, pride, attachment, and desire; muraqabah, spiritual watchfulness, constant awareness of God's presence leading to receptivity; fana, annihilation in God, dissolving the self in the divine, so that divine truths may be reflected without distortion; kashf, unveiling, a state where inner meanings are revealed, either through dreams, inspiration, ilham, or direct insight, mushahada; suhba, company of the awliya. Being in the presence of true saints or Gnostics can sometimes open the heart by spiritual transmission. Ibn Arabi says, when the veil is lifted, the real is known, not through deduction, but through witnessing. The purpose of Ilm-e-Ladunni. Ilm-e-Ladunni is not for fame, power, or superiority. Its purpose is divine nearness, guidance for others, and inner transformation. Those who receive it are often entrusted with hidden wisdoms that guide communities, interpret dreams, and unveil meanings within Scripture that are invisible to ordinary scholars. For Ibn Arabi, the ultimate goal is to become insan al-kamil, the perfect human, one whose heart has become the mirror of God's names and attributes. A final secret. There is one more secret Ibn Arabi shares. You do not get Ilm-e-Ladunni. You become it. In other words, when the self is effaced and only God remains, the heart becomes a vessel for divine flow. The knower becomes a channel, not the owner of knowledge. This is why humility is the greatest sign of a truly enlightened soul. Conclusion: Ilm-e-Ladunni remains a sacred mystery, hidden from the world but open to the sincere seeker. In Ibn Arabi's teachings, it is not something achieved, but something received. Not something taught, but something unveiled. And it is not for the ego, but for the heart that surrenders completely to God. He who knows himself knows his Lord, and in that knowing, the doors of divine knowledge open.